Welcome to Houston Baptist University's Psych 4326, The Psychology of Death and Dying. Reminder, these presentations are only intended to highlight some important or difficult points from the chapter. They are in no way comprehensive and do not include all of the material that students will be held responsible for on exams. You are expected to completely and thoroughly engage with all of the required learning materials. Exams in this course may include questions taken from textbook readings, videos, and this presentation covers some of the important topics from Chapter 18 in our textbook. Make sure you read all of the chapter and take notes. There is much more material in the chapter than we are covering in this presentation. Chapter 18 starts out with the story of Terry Schiavo. Please click on the link above and watch the short recap of this historical battle. In the decision to end a human life, there are some important key issues. The first issue is agency, meaning who acts. There must be at least two individuals involved. In assisted suicide, an individual ends his or her own life. In euthanasia, an individual acts to end the suffering and thus the life of another person. Is this murder? The second issue is the nature of the act itself. In order to characterize the nature of the act, we must consider the underlying intention. Here's a link to an interesting interview with Dr. Jack Kevorkian. I wonder what your thoughts are. Dr. Kevorkian feels strongly that it's morally acceptable to intentionally end a life. Make sure you look over some of the arguments in support of this idea in your textbook on pages 533 to 535. These arguments include the prevention of suffering, the enhancement of liberty, and considering the quality of life. There are also many arguments against intentionally ending a human life. Make sure you read in your textbook these arguments on pages 535 to 536. These include the commitment to preservation of life, the slippery slope argument, among other arguments. Make sure you read Chapter 18 thoroughly and understand the terms found at the back of the chapter. There is so much more than we are covering in this brief presentation. I'll see you in Chapter 19.